So he literally is literally the opposing force to everything MAGA stands for. He was a shoo-in. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The description is down in the disclaimer box. Welcome to the Think Tank, where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. Today we're here to talk about the Immigration and Custom Enforcement Agency, otherwise known as ICE Cube. I'm sorry, they attacked his van. Otherwise known as ICE. What many are now calling Trump's Gestapo, his private security police or whatever, that are roaming the streets of multiple cities looking for immigrants, terrorizing civilians. But I'm sure there's another side to it, and you're going to get to hear the other side because we have the Honorable Dion Powell here, who represents MAGA and is an elected politician, but happens to have his master's degree, very intelligent man. And so you're going to get to hear the other side from somebody intelligent. And I'm going to let him rock. Let's go. Dion?
Hey, family. You know I'm rocking that Spelman, one of the most diverse high schools here in the Bronx. Private school, parochial school, Catholic school. And I'm a district leader, civically educated. And I realized in Spelman, I learned from my history teacher that America was a republic, not a democracy. Because Mr. Riblin, United States history and economics said, get a pledge of allegiance right now, class. And then, oh, wow, it is a republic. Consultant, community leader, Dion Powell, class 99.
Thank you for coming. Dion, I think ICE is out of hand.
Could be.
Donald Trump wants them to do more. He's called for them to do more.
More evil.
No, he literally said they're not doing enough. He wants to see, when asked, they play videos that look like this. This is one of the more meager videos that I've seen. And I didn't see this one. Oh my God. They're taking a woman out. They did all this to get a woman out the car. Why did they have to bust the entire windshield like that? Oh, this is another video. Oh, my dude is not even trying to fight back. Yo, my dude had his hands on the steering wheel, scared, and they did all that. They did all that, and he's sitting there with his hands on the steering wheel. Like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Can we admit that this is maybe a little much? His hands was on the steering wheel.
Actually, no, because the thing is, we don't know the whole story, Leo. Nice try.
This is common with ICE. This isn't more videos with ICE. We can do this all day. We can literally, unfortunately, do this all day. Trump is saying this isn't enough. He wants more.
It looks like they rammed that silver car.
Oh, this is the one where they said that the car rammed them. The car rammed them. That was an excuse for it.
Well, no. Those cops haven't slammed. You see that? The cop had to slam.
No license plate.
Yep.
No plate.
No plate.
No plate.
Thugs.
So the mayor of Aurora said he's looking into this.
Mayor
Again,
is looking into it.
we don't know the whole story, Leo. Nice try. When it comes to immigration, this is one person here that doesn't really have much sympathy. But go ahead.
No sympathy at all, huh?
Not much when I have immigrants that try to come here illegally are pissed off at this whole migrant crisis and how these people have skipped over even them in this backlog, and even they may have problems as a result. But yes, Black America is not happy. Well, we're not happy with the implementation of the forced, relocation, but still, this is not sad. It's not pretty, and it's going to get uglier, in my opinion.
Huh. It's going to, you foresee this getting uglier.
Well, now the Democrats are back in power, and they have sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. We'll see.
Wow. The fact that you're saying that, like, it's almost like you're okay with this.
Pretty much.
Wow. Do you know that they're arresting Black people that's legal the same way?
Now you're trying to conflate the issue.
I'm not. I'm asking if you're aware.
Am I aware? Sure, I'm aware. Does this happen every day, all day, everywhere? No. You would just take these one little clips and just put it on loop. But unfortunately, people have information at their fingertips, like I have my phone right now with the Zoom app, in which we could just change the channel and do our own research and find out what the whole story is. Or what? Without just going into action and flying deep in.
The whole story is ICE agents are terrorizing people. That's the whole story. So you're disagreeing with that?
I kindly like to disagree because we don't even know what happened. You just threw me into the scene. I don't know what happened. It's just saying, what's the context there? What's the report? What happened?
Appears to be a priest talking to them. I guess they don't like what the priest is saying. Somebody came to protect the priest, but he got hit in the head with a pepper ball anyway. A priest, Dion. Like, it just keeps going and going and going. Like, what was the priest? Like, the priest was talking to them. The priest did not have a weapon. This was a priest. He had the white collar on.
No sympathy on this end, my friend. I'm sorry. Gotta let go and let God deal with them. In the meantime, when it comes to immigration, this is the policy that African Americans like me are going to have to look the other way and just shake our head and say, well, it's unfortunate. We have other priorities and issues. Okay?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, they certainly were a very distraught crowd of people here outside of the Rito de Sal daycare after what happened this morning. We're told a teacher who seemingly has a work permit was followed in her vehicle to work, followed into the building and then strong-armed out of it. All of that happening in front of children.
As soon as I got here, I saw two cars. They had lights on. I was trying to figure out exactly what happened, and then I saw the teacher being dragged out and into the car. So immediately, obviously, I knew it must have been ICE.
This lady, one of the many parents trying to drop off a child this morning at the Rito de Sal daycare along Addison, met instead with the sound of screaming. as a young teacher was dragged out of the building by armed, camo-clad and masked men.
So, shooting priests, running up in daycares like I told you was going to happen.
God, I told you so.
I know, because I do. You probably remember me saying it a few times. You argue with me, no, it's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. And here we are. So none of this. So despite all of this, you think that Trump should be calling for ICE to do more?
It's unfortunate, but yeah, potentially. But now,
and this is why what you just said, is why y'all are losing. Because you were wrong. American people are not vicious animals. Trump is a sociopath. He don't care about anybody. I don't know what your reason is. He's a sociopath. He's getting rich and he's stealing from the poor to do it. And the poor immigrants are his scapegoat. And he's got his Nazi Gestapo ICE agents hunting them down like animals, doing things like the stuff that we've watched. I could do 100 videos like this. He just doesn't stop. Project Midway Blitz has the city under siege. Washington, man, this is why there was a blue wave and it's growing stronger. You have a socialist mayor right now because you're supporting this. That's why you have a socialist mayor. They're so far right now, and what y'all could have done is y'all could have tried to bring it more middle, but you're supporting it right. Of course, to swing all the way the other way, people are looking for an answer to get away from that. So you're not getting the centrist, which you need. You're getting all the way left. So by living in denial and pushing further right, like you're not looking at something wrong, in particular ICE, you're pushing everybody to the socialists. You listen to this. You have an immigrant, Muslim mayor, immigrant Muslim socialist mayor in New York City right now, because y'all are so far right that they swinging all the way left. You got young Jews voting for a Muslim. That's speaking out against Israel, no less. Like, it is all the way the other direction because y'all are all the way over there. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. And that's why they lost. But we'll see what happens in 1 year's time for the midterms, because they're going to look at New York as a litmus test for the rest of the country with this fear market. And again, for me, I'm not a Republican. I'm a member of the Conservative Party of New York State. We shall see if they'll do things different with messaging and action. But if the Muslim mayor, Ugandan, goes too far left, then we'll see if in the midterms the entire country will go right. Understand? Because
it's not going to happen. He's not going to do enough damage in a year's time. Here's what's going to happen. I happen to like Mandami. Here's what's going to happen. I like him because we need an answer to Trump. I don't know shit about this dude. I know that I like him over Trump. I'll take Mandami 10 times.
Oh God!
But the reason I brought up that he's Muslim, he's an immigrant. The reason I brought up he's Muslim, he's an immigrant, and he's a socialist, is not because of my personal views. It's because of yours. And if I say yours, I don't mean you personally. I mean because of MAGA. What does MAGA not like? MAGA don't like Muslims. MAGA don't like immigrants. And you know what else MAGA doesn't like? MAGA, I said Muslim immigrants, and they don't like socialism. So he literally is the opposing force to everything MAGA stands for. He was a shoo-in. Do you understand? Y'all are so far right, so much against this, that you force people to vote for exactly what y'all disliked, because y'all are so far right that y'all can't and won't budge off of it even when you're wrong. Even like when you're seeing people drug out of a, excuse my language, I gotta edit that. Even when you see people drawn out of a preschool, a teacher drug out of a preschool, even when you can't say even that's wrong, yeah, people are going to go the other way because they're looking at y'all like y'all crazy.
Well,
Mondami seems like an angel now because he's not that.
exactly. But if you look at the amount of people that voted for his opponent, Andrew Cuomo, the moderate Democrat, whereas an independent, even Republicans backed him. So we shall see. This is New York City, which is going to be litmus test for the rest of the country. So all eyeballs to see what's going to happen next. So the Democrats had a huge win on Tuesday, like we talked about in the previous episode, with this stylish hoodie that I got from the graduates. And yeah, the GOP has to do things differently. Point blank, I agree.
But you just okay ICE.
Well, I said earlier, when it comes to immigration policy, you're not going to get much sympathy out of me, Leo. Unfortunately, sorry.
But you know what that's going to do? That's going to push more people the other way because people are looking at that and they're like, "Oh my God, they went into it." People with children are going to look at that and say, "My child could have been in there."
Right.
And so you're just going to lose all your parents. People are looking at women being drugged out of cars with their kids screaming, "Let my mom go." And you're going to tug at the empathetic heartstrings of America. Y'all being all the way over there is pushing people toward everything that's against you. Immigrants. Y'all against immigrants, y'all got an immigrant mayor. Muslims, y'all all for them Jews, you got a Muslim mayor. You understand? That's what happened. That's what happened. Y'all are for not taxing the rich, y'all got a socialist mayor. Y'all are pushing so hard against it that y'all pushed everybody into Mondami's arms. Y'all put that mayor there. Y'all made that happen. And you know what is good for New York? New York needs a change. Maybe he's not the permanent change that they need, but right now y'all made him the party leader. And what I mean by y'all made him the party leader, people wasn't paying that much attention to Mondami. You know when he started getting attention? When Republicans started saying that established Democrats, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries was afraid of AOC and Mondami. That was the message y'all pushed. So you know what happened when y'all started pushing that message? People wanted to know who Mondami was. He's going to be the leader, so people started rallying around that to get away from y'all. Y'all made him the leader. So Mondami has y'all to thank.
And he's going to be championed from immigrants, Muslims, and most importantly for you, and like the person who called me today, fight and stand up to the mean evil, Donald Trump.
Well, something's got to be done about ICE. You don't see it. You don't understand it. That's fine. You don't have any sympathy. They're doing the same. They're attacking blacks like they're attacking Spanish. You're like, so what? So you don't care about your own people? That's fine. I kind of expect that kind of behavior from MAGA at this point. So it doesn't even surprise me anymore. You know, MAGA doesn't care about themselves. They only care about following the cult belief. And when I say that, here's the thing, right? So there's people that's MAGA that are on food stamps that are still supporting Trump, even though he's taking their food stamps away. And it's like, yo, do you understand what just happened? I spoke to some MAGA people today from Texas. Now, they wasn't affected, and they wasn't negatively impacted. So ICE is apparently going to be one of the leading issues faced by the Trump administration. ICE is pushing people into the other side, and the other side doesn't have a lot of they don't have no ideas. That's what Republicans keep saying. So now you have somebody with an idea, and people are following behind it. They're going to rally behind Mondami because Mondami is the only one that put ideas on the table from the Democratic side. And is so far against everything that MAGA stands for, immigrants, Muslims, and socialists, that ICE is pushing people into Mondami. Mondami's in office now primarily because of food stamps, but ICE paid much into that. ICE is devastating America, and There are many people that are going to be supportive of it. We need to defund ICE. We need to break ICE up. They're not going after the worst of the worst. That teacher that was in the school is not the worst of the worst. She was a freaking teacher in an element in a nursery. She's not the teacher in the nursery was not the worst of the worst. I promise you. Trump lied, and the American people are tired of it. So, with what you're seeing and Trump having promised to go after the worst of the worst, even though he obviously lied, you can co-sign his lies and say, get all of them, get everybody to look Spanish.
Again, Leo, we don't know the whole story.
The whole story was she was a teacher working in this was reported, this is already reported. She was a teacher working in a nursery that had her working papers. That's the whole story. They got her because she looked Spanish, because that's what the Supreme Court said they can do. That's the story.
Okay. Well, again, not much to do for me. These mistakes happen. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But this is a result of the egregious border crisis we had under the Bush administration. Unfortunately, President Trump and ICE, it's a lot of hiccups along the way, but this is just one example out of many others that may be overlooked, or just one minor example of what's not really happening. What about all the criminals that are being captured in those reports? You don't see those.
You know, I can't take the government's word for criminals being captured. I look at a Grego Garcia and he literally like photoshopped tattoos on him to make him look like a criminal. When the case came out, what happened to him? They dismissed the case because there was no case. Like I told you was going to happen 7 months ago when I told you he was innocent, and now the case came up and guess what? He was innocent. There's a shock. Oh my God, I was right. The world's coming to an end. Oh wait, it's Tuesday. So I can't take the government's word for it. They lie. They're Donald Trump's administration. Can't take anything they say to it. The only times when they're not moving, when they're not lying to you, is when their lips are not moving. ICE is not there. ICE isn't there to get immigrants. ICE is there to cause problems in the street so we can send the troops out, so we can declare a national emergency and stop elections from ever happening again. That's why ICE is there. It's nothing to do with immigration at all. That's my next prediction. That's what he's going to try. He's already talking about it. He already wants to suspend elections and end the filibuster and change the voting. He's just trying to stay in power. ICE has nothing to do with anything. The cruelty that you're seeing, stopping the food stamps, it's all about him staying in power and getting richer for the little bit of time he knows he has left on this earth. Because whatever that MRI was that he needed, you don't just get an MRI on a routine annual checkup. Because that's not...
Now that's a tangent. This has nothing to do with immigration policy. It's personal health and wellness. Unless you're questioning his decision-making capability, which is another story. But so far,
no, I'm saying that ICE is there to keep him in power for as long as he can, even though he doesn't have that long. Yeah, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm wishing his death. I'm just stating why I say he may not have that long, which is because the man's sick. So right now he's trying to grab as much power as he can. And ICE is one of his power plays to do that. Do you disagree with anything I just said?
Yes, ICE is not a big power play, but that was something that was voted in by the American people, immigration policy. Unfortunately, the implementation is not where it should be, just like some other programs that other presidents have promised wasn't what it all cracked out to be long-term, but that's about it.
Well, I would ask you where you would improve on it, but you said you're fine with it, and you're fine with Trump saying that. You're saying that it could use improvement. He's saying that it needs to be more of what we're seeing. He's not happy with he wants them to do more. And you're good with that. So you're talking out of both sides of your face. You're saying you're good with him wanting more, but you're not happy with the implementations. I don't know which way to take that.
Well, again, immigration was one issue that helped Trump win in the red wave last year. So we shall see.
All right. Well, if you're liking the content, like, share, subscribe. I know I showed a couple of videos this time, and I'm not going to overflood y'all with the immense amount of videos that are out there. It's literally thousands of them because ICE is running rampant in the streets, detaining immigrants and citizens alike, attacking people, physically accosting them. Some of the things I've seen are horrendous. I wouldn't even show. I've seen them ripping clothes off of people. I've seen them dragging people. Like, they're supposed to be going after the worst of the worst. Priests and teachers in daycares are not the worst of the worst. At least in my opinion. Maybe they're the worst of the worst to a racist who doesn't like Spanish people. But outside of that, then a teacher in a daycare here on working papers legally should not be attacked by this Gestapo, in my personal opinion. But this is Leo and Dion. Dion?
Well, when it comes to immigration policy, unfortunately, they're going to be, as they say, people that slip through cracks. And that's what I want to say about that.
You heard it here. This is Leo and Dion signing out.